Hello and welcome. You have tuned into WION World of Sport Xtra. I am Nikhil Mathur and I'm joined by my colleagues Vidur Kathuria and Shubhashish Nandi. And we are building up to the ODI World Cup. Host India made a huge statement by thrashing Sri Lanka by 10 wickets in the final of the Asia Cup. Defending champions England have announced their 15-man final squad and Harry Brook has replaced Jason Roy. So are England and India the favourites for the ODI World Cup? That's what we are going to discuss in this live. When India entered the Asia Cup, there were questions about their middle orders, about the fitness of their bowlers. How many questions have they answered?
All of them. All of them have been answered. And India had to take, as you mentioned, India had to tick a lot of boxes heading into the Asia Cup. They did not have enough match practice, especially in ODIs. But I think it was the perfect campaign for them, the way things panned out, not just in terms of players, but in terms of match situations. I think the kind of victories that they had, they were under pressure against Sri Lanka in one of the Super 4 matches when they had to defend. It was 213, I think. 213 they had to defend, and they successfully, comfortably defended it in the end. It was a 41-run victory. Then, of course, they put up a huge target against Afghanistan, huge total against Pakistan. What was it? 357. Yeah. So the batting came good. The bowlers excelled. Jasprit Bumrah, Kuldeep Yadav, and, of course, Siraj. So I think this could not have been a better campaign for India. And now they will enter the World Cup full of confidence. Their hosts, they have a settled 11, which wasn't the case before the Asia Cup. That's the most important thing. And all the players who were under pressure, for example, KL Rahul, Ishan Kishan, to perform, they have done exceptionally well. And I think that this could not have gone better. But
there's a big but coming, okay.
They're still not my favorites, as I mentioned before, and I will come to that later.
Okay, so Vidur mentioned all the positive things. Do you think there are still some of the areas where India, need to pull up their socks, maybe?
Well, after yesterday's performance, there are hardly anything they could have done better. But I don't know, maybe there have been a few misfields at the Asia Cup.
Fielding?
That maybe they could look into that. Otherwise, it has been a brilliant Asia Cup for the entire, right? For all the 15 members of the squad, 15 or 17 members of the squad, but most of them. India's first 11 is ready, and if they dish out a performance like they did against Sri Lanka yesterday, I think they are the favourites.
Our polls are live on our Facebook and Twitter pages. Tell us, who do you think are the favourites for the World Cup? To give your comments, we'll take all of them. As Vidur said, that India are not your favourite. But I think there's some things that, they are not the favourite because, maybe because they don't have the X factor, or what's your take on that? Or they don't have an aggressive batting mindset. Why do you think they are not the favourites?
They're not the favourites because I think that there is a better team out there who are more capable of putting up performances in big matches. Of course, I'm talking about defending champions England. I think the fact that their batting runs so deep, they bat in number 10, still gives them an edge. And their performances in the white ball format over the last few years have been quite exceptional. They're not just ODI World Champions, the T20 World Champions. And as we have discussed before, they have a certain player called Ben Stokes, the man for the big occasion. And I think they have the fact that Harry Brook, one of the most exciting young players in the world, he barely got in. In fact, just yesterday, England announced their final squad. Of course, no place for Jason Roy.
Very harsh for him.
Jason Roy was one of the key players during the 2019 World Cup. He along with Josh Butler, gave them exceptional starts during that campaign. So harsh, but I think you have to make space for Harry Brook. He's explosive. He's a match winner, and especially in that middle order, he is that X factor that we've talked about.
Yeah, you wrote that script for the England squad. as Vidur said, the X factor. Harry Brook is an X factor. Ben Stokes is an X factor, and they have players who could bat as well as bowl. What are they your favorites as well, like Vidur?
See, on paper, England have a better team than India, but can they perform in India? That is going to be the main question. See, Harry Brook, I don't think if he is going to play all the matches. I mean, yes, he is the player who can actually change the match for England, but I think, if you look at their squad, which is Butler, Moeen Ali, Gus Atkinson, Johnny Bairstow, Harry Brook, Sam Curran, Liam Livingston, David Malan, Adil Rashid, Joe Root, Ben Stokes, Reece Topley, David Wiley, Mark Wood and Chris Vokes. There are so many options.
I'm saying, and also the point that you brought about playing in Indian conditions, their batters, most of them have had considerable experience in India. In the IPL also, they've had multiple tours. Brook played in the IPL this time, didn't do well, but did score that century, So,
but I think their squad has depth. They bat till 10, 11. I think Adil Rashid, number 10, can bat.
He can actually get you 20, 30 runs.
Yeah, and all the batters, like most of the batters, Livingston can bowl, and that's where India are missing. I think the all-rounder, I think Hardik Pandya did well against Pakistan. I think in the opening match he scored some runs. But other than that, my big concern is Ravindra Jadeja. He's been bowling well, fine. But he has an average of 23 this year and hasn't hit even a single 50. So what if the middle, what's India's plan B? There's no plan B. If the top order collapses, I don't think you have too much to depend on. And especially you don't have that X factor. Like Jadeja and Hardik Pandya, they are not aggressive. None of the Indian batters come with aggressive mindset. By aggressive, I don't mean that they don't play attacking cricket, but that mindset is not there.
That is a concern. During the Asia Cup, the middle order was put under pressure, but not Jadeja, and Pandya came good in that partnership with Ishan Kishan in the first Pakistan match that was washed out. I think that was a very positive performance. But I still feel that Jadeja has to do more with the bat. I won't be too concerned, to be honest with you, but because Jadeja is that kind of player, the thing he offers with the ball is enough to get him into the team. And of course, as I mentioned before, that India ticked most of the boxes. Now, the only problem I have with this Indian team is the depth of their batting. So that is why I think Jadeja will have to do more, especially if he's given the opportunity during between the 40 and 50th over. He has to go
finish
out
those
matches and make that 30-40, which, like Axar Patel did, that proves to be the difference. If India don't have, such a big...
you talked about Axar Patel. We have some questions coming in. Axar Patel is injured. He has had a hamstring niggle and he's out for at least 2 matches in the Australia series. So Rohan says, is there any possibility of inclusion of Ravichandran Ashwin in India's ODI World Cup squad? Well, Rohit Sharma in his post-match conference said that he is in contact with Ravichandran Ashwin and Washington Sundar. So, because this is not the final 15-man squad, this is the provisional. So if Axar is not fit, you may see Ravichandran Ashwin or Washington Sundar, who came to Sri Lanka just to lift the trophy.
So this question, is it the same? Will Akshar's absence hurt India? Neither Ashwin or Washington can bat like him.
No, that's a different question.
Okay, guess who has sent this question?
Man.
It is
the one man who is missing in this.
The one who usually sits here. Thank you for the question, Digvijay. So well, Akshar's it will hurt India, I believe. Because as we were just mentioning, those few runs that Axar consistently gets you in those final overs where India do not have a big target or total, for example, as we saw in the Sri Lanka game, and he can hit it. He can hit the ball. He's more consistent in those final overs than, say, a Jadeja or a Shardul Thakur or any other all-rounder. And plus, Axar with the ball as well, he has had success in India in all formats.
Those test matches, he
yes, of course,
really
it's different, but he has that experience. He's a proper all-rounder, and I think he can be one of the X factors for India heading into the World Cup, so his absence will hurt India.
But there's big but, because Rohit Sharma says that he's having a word with Ashwin as well as Washington Sundar. Do you think there's space for Ashwin in this, Ashwin or Washington Sundar?
In fact, his exact words were, none of the spinners are out of contention. He's in contact with everyone.
Yeah.
Anyone can make it to the World Cup squad.
And there are 10 days to go, right?
Yeah, there are 10 days to go, but...
And I think India will announce the squad for the Australia series.
Yeah, today.
I think that's going to be crucial.
Yeah. I think that will give us an idea what kind of injuries we are dealing with and what India are finally looking at, because the provisional squad historically hasn't meant much when it comes to India and World Cups. If you remember, in 2019 a certain Ambati Raidu wasn't included in the squad.
3D player.
3D glasses. And of course then Vijay Shankar, was he originally in the squad? I'm not sure.
I think he was picked over Ambati Raidu.
Exactly.
That's why, because the selector said he's a 3D cricketer, and that's where the controversy started.
Is it time to take the poll now?
No, I think we have a lot of comments.
Yeah.
Rilo says, ODI #1 team Pakistan, but India is soon to replace Pakistan at #1 place. I mean, right now they are the ODI #1 side, but they didn't have a great Asia Cup.
See, the rankings don't really mean much.
And they received a major blow in Naseem Shah. I mean...
Yeah, that's a major blow to them. I think that Pakistan, what they don't have is that they cannot play in every situation. Sometimes when the pressure is not on them, they put up a big score. But when the pressure is on them, and especially in terms of chases, I think they have to manage their matches better, manage their chases better, especially. Babar Azam, also his captaincy, I won't question it.
There have been questions. And there was
but there are certain in certain situations he has to manage his batters and bowlers better.
And reportedly there was a bust up between Babar Azam and Shaheen Shafridi in the dressing room. There have been reports. So all's not well in Pakistan, the #1 ODI side.
Yeah, I just want to add that they are a great team. On paper they are brilliant, but will you put your money on them? I don't think so.
See, when you're Pakistan failed to make the final of the Asia Cup, that is a failure for them at the Asia Cup. Everyone expected a India-Pakistan final. Everyone wanted to see an India-Pakistan final. That wasn't there. But I think the dressing room, I won't call it a bust-up from what I've read. It was an argument. That's healthy sometimes. If the team is not doing well, players are committed towards the team and they are making their feelings known. I won't say there are huge concerns for them, but there are a few things that need to be sorted.
Let's take some more comments. Govin, thank you for your comment. He says that placing my bets on India this time, they have a strong team and will be playing at home. Yeah, that's what we discussed. Alex says, don't underestimate Australia. They have a history of dominating in World Cups.
No one is underestimating Australia. I think they have a few injury concerns, but for that ODI series now, Smith back, Cummins back, Stark is back. So, I mean, no one you can never count out Australia at World Cups.
And they have a lot of X factor in Captain Mitchell Marsh and even in Glenn Maxwell. And we also have a poll running on who's the most exciting young player at the ODI World Cup. We have three options: Cameron Smith, Shubman Gill, and what is the last option?
Cameron Gill, Shubman Gill, and Harry Brook.
Harry Brook. So we'll take that poll towards the end of this discussion. But before that, Tanseem says, Team India surely carries this performance in the coming World Cup. Of course, they do. Shakti says, Kohli and Rohit are the dynamic duo. We need to bring the World Cup home.
Yes, we do. I mean, yes, India does. We can't be biased. Also, it seems like our boss is keeping a very close eye on us. Hello, sir. So he has another comment. South Africa are now in that list of favourites. Well, Shibishi, since you have been covering that series, South Africa, under the radar, not too much pressure on them, but they have some quality players, don't they?
See, the thing with South Africa is that they've always had good players who can, on their day, they can smash any bowler in this world.
Yeah.
Like we saw in this series, there were what? They scored,
I think 400. Henrik Klaasen played that 170 for them.
I think, in the first ODI, South Africa scored 222, but from the second ODI onwards, third ODI onwards, 338, 416, 315.
Yeah, they have defeated Australia in that series.
As Kagiso Rabada said in the interview, they have some exceptional batters. So I think they'll be quietly confident heading into the World
And in
Cup.
that exclusive interview to us, he also mentioned that they are not under pressure. They don't have the favorites tag.
Yeah.
So I think that might just work in their favor. And Henrik Larsson, oh, what a performance! And Quinton de Kock's last World Cup. So maybe this is the World Cup where South Africa breaks the jinx. We have also we have a comment. Junaid says South Africa and New Zealand are the only top two teams who haven't won a single ODI World Cup. Judging by the recent performance of South Africa against Australia, from 0-2 down to 3-2, I guess South Africa is taking it home this time.
Whoa, that
Can be.
That's a big statement. But yeah, South Africa, especially their lead up to the World Cup, has been very, very encouraging. I think they have now a settled team. Unfortunately, I think Henrik Noke, there are some injury concerns regarding him. But if he's able to pass the fitness test, Rabada plus Noke plus the batters that they have,
and
formidable
even Marco
team.
Jansen, what a performance yesterday.
And Indians have a certain weakness against left-arm pacers who are 6 feet tall. 5% of our viewers agree with you that they think that Shubman Gill is going to be the best young player at the ODI World Cup. Harry Brook, 12%. Cam Green, also 12%.
You haven't told us your favorites.
Yeah.
India or England?
Or anyone else?
I think England are the favourites. That's what I said. India does not have that X factor. And if Ravindra Jadeja starts firing, if they have someone who can finish the game, then I will place my bet on India. But it's England for me at this moment. We have one more comment before we take our final poll. It's Mungai says India should be given a chance this time. Well,
India have a chance.
India
always have a chance. Yeah. And I think the only thing is that the pressure is now on India. No ICC trophy since 2013, no World Cup title since 2011. Now, if India, in fact, it's the title or nothing.
Yeah.
If India do not win the title, it will be a very, very big disappointment. And this is the last chance. This is the last chance for Virat Kohli, for Rohit Sharma, to win the World Cup. Two of the stalwarts of Indian cricket over the last decade or so. Rohit hasn't won the
World Cup.
ODI World Cup.
T20
Rohit has won the 2020 World Cup. Virat Kohli was, of course, part of that team. He played in the final as well, but he wasn't a key. You wouldn't call him a key player, although he did well during the campaign. He wasn't one of the main players for that. So, and for his legacy, for Rohit Sharma's and Virat Kohli's legacy as Indian cricketers, this is a huge, huge World Cup.
Yeah, and India need to, we have talked about, no one has given them choker stack, but they haven't gone past the semi-finals.
If the monster that is Indian cricket right now, clearly the most powerful cricket board in the world, clearly the most sorted in terms of the cricketing machinery in the country, India has not won a title since 2013, 10 years. That is a massive feat.
Yeah. So who is the favourite to win ODI World Cup? Whether you have already picked England as your favourites, Shibashish, you're going with England, India, Australia or Pakistan?
Well, we have given them 4 options, and in that list, I'm inclined towards India, but I'm not counting out England.
So, okay. Our audience think India, 68%. They think that this is their World Cup finally after the 2011 triumph. England, 15%. Australia and Pakistan, 9% each. So, India, the favourites, according to this poll.
Yeah, our boss won't be happy we didn't put South Africa in there. That's okay. Pakistan...
We'll have another poll for the dark horses. Maybe South Africa, New Zealand can go.
In fact, we have another poll on right now.
Yeah.
Let's take that.
Can Harry Brook be the X factor for England?
I think, as you said, I don't think he's going to get a lot of games.
But yes, I would say yes.
I think when you have Ben Stokes, I don't think you will look far.
You don't need X factor, but you never know.
You never know,
in a situation.
And Ben Stokes, dodgy knee.
Yeah, give us the results.
It's a tie. 50% of them are saying yes, and 50% of them are saying no. Even they are unsure if they
probably. Yeah. Okay, obviously we'll be looking ahead to that World Cup a lot more in the coming days. We'll definitely, have a proper sort of preview to all the teams. We'll be looking at what their strengths and weaknesses are. But as of now, I think we've covered mostly what we wanted to. So what's on our WION World of Sport bulletin today?
We are doing a SWOT analysis of India's Asia Cup performance.
Yes.
And then obviously we have South Africa versus Australia result. Marco Jansen, a proper all-round performance, 5-wicket haul and a 27 ball 43. And then there's golf action as well.
Golf, as well as another World Cup, the Rugby World Cup. England are all but through to the quarterfinals, but they were booed.
England winning another World Cup then?
But the performance, clearly, fans aren't happy. They were booing the team at the halftime. Not a convincing win, but nevertheless, they are almost through to the quarterfinals.
Football action. We have football action. Arsenal have won at Goodison Park after 2017 for the first time. It was a 1-0 win, but a very, very convincing display. They dominated the match, and another very good goal they scored by Leandro Trossard. So Arsenal are on 13 points level with Tottenham and Liverpool, of course, 2 points behind Manchester City. And Real Madrid have kept up their 100% start. Jude Bellingham did not score. But Real again continuing their fine start to the season. So,
and as you said, golf, Indian origin Sahith Theegala winning his maiden PGA Tour title. So we'll have that and much more on our show at 6:30 p.m. India.